idle hands, so you guys are still together.
Still together.
Yeah, she doesn't like horror movies. It's very rare that I can get her to watch something.
Wow.
My husband does not like horror movies either, and he walked out. But my husband's a huge stoner, and he was like, "I think I've seen." He came out in the part where Seth Green finally has that metal piece like out of his head. He's like, "I think I've seen this," and I was like, "Yeah, no, this is probably more in your wheelhouse because no horror was happening. No horror was happening.
Not really.
Yeah, it's stoner comedy.
They roped Fulton into this shit. How did this happen?
It was like every teenage star from the 90s, early 2000s in that movie.
Yeah.
They were all in something else, at least one other thing.
Yeah, so let me ask you, is this part of the podcast, or are we going to have an intro? I just need to know.
There. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Okay,
so do like a cold open.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, we're very professional.
Because I didn't want to know how much information. No. I think it's kind of cool to just start a conversation, because we've done that before, where we just start a convo like this and don't even have an intro, and then add this later, because this banter is awesome. Just this simple talk is more, is what people want to hear. Because I remember this movie coming out, in the 99 or whatever. I kind of remember it. I remember thinking, this is not my type of movie, so I kind of just ignored it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not my kind of thing.
So I don't know why we all agreed to watch it.
All three of us.
I'll tell you what, when we were watching, when I knew this was coming up, I kind of watched a little bit of it and kind of pieced through it. And I was like, that's not as bad as I thought it would be, or as bad as I remembered.
And then you watched it beginning to end, and you were like, this is horrific.
It's not horrific. But it's not what I like.
But it's not good.
A lot of people do like it for their reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they too watched it while stoned. I think our problem was we were sober.
Well, I think my age too, because when it would have came out, I probably would have like, this is not my kind of thing.
Brent, what is your age?
I just turned 51.
Nah, that's why we call you Big Daddy Brent.
What do you have? You have a Starbucks mocha drink or something?
Me?
Yeah.
The hard
cider. No.
Oh.
I have, so we have Beacon Skiff in New York, and this is their cider, their donut cider.
Oh, that sounds
so it's hard cider. They're 1911. It's the 1911 label.
Like a donut coffee flavored cider? Is that what it is?
I don't know why you're obsessed with coffee. You'll never see me.
I guess maybe the color of it.
No coffee. Just
you're not a coffee
cider
drinker?
donut.
Okay.
In New York State, we're obsessed with apple cider donuts, all of that. We are a big fan of the fall here. We do all the basic white bitch things here on Long Island. Little winery tour, a little pumpkin picking, a little apple picking, all while drinking hard cider.
I will be up there pretty soon in upstate New York. My brother lives in upstate New York.
What part of upstate?
Albany, like kind of between Albany and Syracuse. And I've got a whole, his sons live up there. Most of my nephews live up there, their kids. So, and I've actually never been up there.
Fun.
Now, I've been to New York, but not upstate New York.
But you're going to have to fly into JFK?
I think actually what I'm going to be doing is driving up to Pennsylvania for the Joe Bob Jamboree.
Okay.
Then take another couple weeks and go spend it up there. And
Brent, we have to have an offline conversation about that, because if my family isn't doing the family reunion, then I am coming to PA for the Jamboree. Okay. But if they are, then I can't.
Yeah. Okay. That would be awesome if you could go. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm more sure than not sure. So
okay. And I can't do Texas because I had already booked. We wanted to go to the Texas State Fair when we come see his mom, and that's later than Frightmare. Okay. And I was like, that makes sense. They must be on the same properties, but they're not. So this makes no sense now. Just do it all in the same weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So should we get into this?
Yeah, maybe we should welcome to Horror and Heels, everybody. I'm your host, Jen.
It's Alicia, as always. And today we decided to bring on Brent because without Big Daddy Brent, the head of the Shudder Horror Fans group, Jen and I would never have met. This joy that you enjoy every week, as Chris
Entirely
likes
true.
to say, like an addict getting his fix. I felt so sad. He was so disappointed the week that we missed. So we decided to have Mr. Brent on, and what I'm going to say right now is I drink a lot during our watch parties. And we all were discussing what movie we wanted to do whilst or after one of the watch parties. And I think I was too drunk to be making decisions because somebody threw out Idle Hands. And I said, oh, I've never seen it. Seth Green, sounds great. Not my type of movie.
Mine either. None of us.
None of us. I don't know why we came to this
because none of us had seen it, so we're like, oh, maybe it'll be a good watch. Hey, you know what? We make mistakes. Brent will be on again for a good movie, but this is what we're working with today.
Yeah, bring me back for a movie that like we can all really get into. But Idle Hands, you know,
we were trying to give you options, and you said we could pick whatever. Next time, pick your favorite or like something that you enjoy.
You know, I'm the kind of person, if you say, hey, let's do something, I try not to ever say no. No matter what it is, I try to figure a way to say yes and
Brent
do it.
does not say no.
Hello, ladies. You know, and I wanted to see it. You know, I had never really watched it fully through, so I wanted to see it and what it was all about. And I can say it's a good movie for some people, but it's not the type of movie I'm into. And it's not horror in any kind of way. To me, it's comedy.
No, it's pure comedy. Yeah.
80% comedy, maybe 20% elements of comedy, maybe. I mean, a horror, maybe 20% comedy.
Yeah. I mean, it started out strong. That intro, I was like, okay.
It did, you know, but when you see Fred Willard,
here's the thing. So the intro, big disconnect with the rest of the movie.
Yeah. It takes a while. Yeah. They don't even like. Yeah. And then they say, oh, he hasn't seen his parents in 2 days. And I'm like, it's been 2 days since you've seen your parents?
You failed as a parent if after 2 days, let me tell you a little for instance. My father and I was like 26, 27, still living at, 23, 24. But we lived in the same house. I stayed over a friend's house. The next morning I got home early to get ready for work. I noticed my father hadn't come home. I immediately try to call him twice. No answer. I get panicked. My father rides a motorcycle. I'm always a little nervous of that. I think they're cool, but I don't love them safety-wise.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, Uncle T, have you heard from my father? No. So finally I call my Aunt Marianne, and she's like, yeah, he slept over here last night. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? We live in a house together, and something might have happened to him.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, your parents got murdered in your home and by you, and you didn't notice.
Yeah, didn't see him for 2 whole days and didn't think that was weird. Okay.
But think of it. If your parents are riding your ass to get out and do something, this is a stoner's dream come true. His parents are not around.
Which is why you should be suspicious immediately.
He can watch TV. He can smoke his weed.
Like maybe they weren't riding his ass that hard because the father says he didn't even help me with the Halloween decorations. Let me tell you, my 2.5-year-old knows he'll get a timeout if he doesn't put his toys away.
If he doesn't help, yeah.
He just heard too that you said that you never say no. He'd like Big Daddy Brent as his dad because I say no a lot. He'd like to make a parental change.
Yeah.
He wants to go with the person who never says no.
And you know, you're right, the disconnect from the beginning of the whole movie, because not only is it the opening scene with Fred Willard and the wife, it's the intro because it's a cool fire intro, and then also like there's a really cool Steadicam shot that comes into the house. So it's like,
guys, I don't think we said the name of the movie.
Oh,
guys, it's Idle Hands.
From 1999, Idle Hands.
Yes.
I mean, it'll be in the description. But
anyway, so you said Steadicam.
Yeah, there's a really cool Steadicam shot. So like you really feel like you're in for something, and then it just kind of gets silly, you know, right when it comes through the window or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, this is actually a stoner comedy.
Yeah, it's a stoner
surprising.
comedy.
A lot of stoners, like nobody talks about it, and I would think, I mean, basically, weed saves the day. It should be a major stoner movie.
Yeah, it should be. And a lot of people do talk about it, but think about this, came out in 99, so weed wasn't so prevalent that you could market it. And if you look at the trailers, there's no indication of weed in this movie at all.
I had no idea.
Which is interesting though, because Dazed and Confused came out what, 96, 97,
Yeah,
and there's pot all over that marketing.
Yeah.
Well, was it really though? Look at the original, because what I did was look at the original trailers for this, and there was no weed or marijuana.
I mean, now it's a cult classic.
No, I believe I have. Now I'm looking.
Because maybe the original trailer for Dazed and Confused might have not had much marijuana.
I wasn't just talking about that. I was talking about the poster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, it's got like the hippie, like the tie-dye.
The tie-dye, yeah.
Yeah, what is the box cover to this movie like?
Yeah, okay,
And this movie really did have everybody, though. Like, it even had Vivica Fox. I was like, what?
Totally wasted.
They rope Vivica
absolutely wasted in this movie.
God.
And she's a looker, that's for sure. So she's easy on the eyes, but she was totally wasted in this movie.
I don't know what happened with her, but she should have been doing better and more stuff.
Yeah, because just a few years before this, she's coming off of Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And many others.
She was great.
She's been doing great now. If you guys are not watching some stuff, she's in stuff now. Hold on.
Yeah.
She did some stuff. Empire. Empire was the most recent.
Oh, Empire.
Oh, I love that show. Yeah, she's the sister. She's Taraji P. Henson's sister.
Yeah, if you look at the box cover.
That was the main one that I recognized most recently.
Empire. If you look at the box cover for Idle Hands, there's no indication of marijuana or weed.
No.
The lime green hands.
Brett, I re-looked, and unless you are very informed of pot culture, I don't think it would have occurred to you in the Dazed and Confused box cover too. For some reason, I thought the smiley face in Confused was a leaf, and it's not.
Yeah.
So that would explain why this movie had a budget of $25 million and only made $5 million. Because
they spent $25 million on that.
Can you lose $20 million in?
Can you imagine wasting $25 million on this?
That's insane.
But I mean,
what did they spend it on?
The actors, apparently, because they didn't spend it on writing.
And even at that time, most of these actors were still not, anybody really big. I mean, of course, Jessica Alba hadn't even been in anything, I think.
Yeah, she would have been like
was this her first movie? Oh, no, it's not her first, but it's close to it.
Seth Green had been in like Can't Hardly Wait. Wasn't that out before that?
Shockingly enough, the two who had been in the most weren't even the main.
Fred Willard?
Devin. It's Seth and I just always call him Fulton, but the boy who played the other dead dude, who is
yeah, he's in like Butterfly Effect, and She's All That. I like him.
I guess this guy's name is
He's Mighty Ducks. He's Fulton.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, he's a.
That's all I know him from. He was actually in the most recent episode, and this isn't a spoiler if you care. I was
like, don't tell me.
No. Just listen. It's a Disney Mighty Ducks show. You can assume the original Mighty Ducks come back,
and I don't know when.
No, but you can assume they come back. Listen, it follows a very specific Disney script, okay? Like I said to my husband, I go, oh, this show is just amazingly predictable. It's like a warm blanket.
Yep.
You knew some of the original Ducks were coming back soon, and he was back, and he was looking good. I love a chubby man.
I always thought he was pretty handsome.
He was great. Him and his Bash Bro, my Bash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
Love hockey.
I liked all the actors in this. I thought they all did a good job.
Yeah, that's what
they were working with. They did it
beautiful. They had the mom. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show, The Torkelsons.
No.
Oh my God, I loved that show. It was on Disney like years ago.
I remember the name, but I never.
But she's
second movie for us back to back where the woman is wearing a night dress to bed. Ladies, this is how you get this is how you get tangled up in emergent situations. Pants, ladies, pants.
You got to be able to truck it. You got to be able to run. You can't run in them things.
I was more afraid when she was going down the stairs. I didn't think she was going to get got that soon, guys. But I'm like, she's going to break her leg on those goddamn stairs. All I thought until she got. I'm like, she's breaking her leg on a stair.
I mean, if you're going to wear it, then at least have some scissors on the nightstand. So when it's time to go, you can just cut them up real quick.
Cut it off, yeah.
Yeah. Something. Her, that death was pretty rough, though. Just dragging her under the bed. Like, and then it just was like the hand did that by itself. Like, what did it do? And like the bed was all moving.
No, that's him. He just didn't remember.
But even as a like that would be hard to do. They made it more supernatural than it was, is what I'm saying.
Yes, you're right. They did.
They totally did.
Yeah.
At first, I thought, the same thing. Yeah.
The hand that they use is the same hand from the Addams Family.
It looks like
that's the thing. Thank you.
And
I'm glad to see you got another role.
Later on, it's cool to see the hand sharpening itself in the pencil sharpener.
When he was sharpening
pencil sharpener. I thought that was kind of cool.
That was funny.
Yeah.
And can you guys name the gym? What famous 90s movie that gym was from?
Who was from?
The gym. The literal gym.
School.
Oh, probably. I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. It gets burned down with some hairspray.
Uh-oh.
You've both seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I was going to say Buffy. Yeah. That was going to be my...
God.
You didn't give me enough time.
Well, no, now I got really worried that I was going to be doing spoilers for Buffy.
Oh, no.
I was like, shit, did I just tell Jenny?
That was going to be my first guess, but then I wanted to run through some other thoughts. I was like, maybe it's something else, but I was
You're talking about
Buffy.
the movie, right?
The movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, Luke Perry. It's going way too soon.
Oh, that guy. What a... I
love
him so much.
If you can watch the movie 8 seconds and not cry, you're a robot. I don't know if you've
I hate when people put that stipulation on my humanity. I don't cry in movies, okay? I can watch
haven't found the right movie.
I can cry. I can see any movie and not cry. So
Jen,
I am not a robot, though.
Jen,
I don't cry at movies.
Jen is not a robot.
I am not a robot.
Jen,
I don't cry at movies.
Cry at a Charmin commercial. What are you?
I don't cry. I do not cry at anything. Like I'll just sit there and be like, "Oh, that's sad," and then
that'll be the right movie that'll come along one day and get you.
Okay. I almost cried at Titanic.
That's weak.
No, not at Rose and Jack. F those two. No, I cried at the old couple in the bed with the water coming out. I didn't cry. I almost cried. And I was like 14, and that was very close for me. I was like, wow, I don't cry at movies. That's interesting. But the water coming up and them like all spooning, and I was like, that almost made me cry.
I find as I get older, it's a lot easier for me to cry than it used to be. That's just the way it is, you know? I don't know.
Ever since I had this kid.
Oh.
You give less fucks about it.
And, so if you come back to the whole marketing or the whole movie idea of marijuana and being like a stoner comedy, I think it starts out, because you don't know it yet, but he's got that inhaler, and we think, oh, he's got asthma. But then when it's a weed pipe, then it's like every stoner watching that movie. It's like, oh my God, this is genius. This God made this movie for me. That's probably what they thought.
Yep. We are stereotyping stoners right now. If you are offended, we don't care.
I'm not a stoner, but I'm very pro marijuana, and I like to smoke, and I do like to eat. I like to eat marijuana and smoke it. It's great. It's just me.
I don't like the smell of the marijuana.
Yeah, it's rough. It's like a skunk, and I'm not a fan. I'm like, is that a dead skunk or is that someone smoking pot? And
yeah, I guess if you're a pot smoker, when you smell that, it's like, ooh.
It's like,
it's like, it's like finding gold, because other weed smokers like to share with other people. That's why you always say, are you holding, it's like, do you have anything? And you can always go to your friend's house and they'll take care.
This isn't Domino's, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't Domino's, bro.
He's like, I'm
that was a great line.
And then of course he's just crossing the street. So that's
I was like, wow.
A big, I don't feel like going way over there.
In some states where it's legal, dispensaries have even started
delivering
services.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's like apps here in LA.
We have Drizzly for alcohol. I wonder how
we have that too.
We have that too. For the pot here now that it's legal.
Yeah, it won't be long. I'm surprised they're not on it yet. But
I also wonder if. So here's the thing: like a lot of the people I know who have smoked for so long, like, because I'm in my 40s, so everybody I know has been smoking for like 20 plus years. They all have their person. So they're not looking for someone new. They're like, I've gotten the same weed from blah, blah, blah for the forever. I'm not looking for a new guy. Like, that guy's fine now.
Right. Somebody you can trust before it was legal. And, that not only was it good, but you could trust that they weren't a cop. So, but I think now what's happening is with these, it becoming legal and kind of starting to propagate across the United States, the quality is becoming unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, just even a tiny little bit and you're blasting off into space. And that brings competition, so the prices come way down too.
We've lost Jen. Jen has left us.
She's probably getting up to get another cocktail.
She couldn't look at my face anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Thanks, Brent. I was trying to do it undercover.
Yeah.
At least
I
was going to come back with a full glass.
I think I know her well enough to kind of know that's what she's doing.
Such small beverages.
Oh my God. Whatever.
She's trying to drink out
I was like, nobody will know. And now my hair is wet.
What do you have? An orange juice and what?
Vodka.
Oh.
Screwdriver. Not a fan of the name, by the way. Don't like the word screwdriver.
Don't like a screwdriver. It's better than a pile driver, but that's something totally different, ladies. Something totally different. I love a good screwdriver. I even like when it's grapefruit juice and vodka. That's even better to me. I love grapefruit juice.
That sounds
if you can tell me the name of that actual drink, you'll win a point.
Oh. Is it called a Tom Collins?
Nope, that has gin in it. Go again. I will give you a hint. It's a luxury resort location of Massachusetts.
Oh my God. A Cape Cod?
Very good.
Oh, and I've actually been there before too. That was cool.
That's where I got engaged.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I went to a wedding there. That's what I went for. And it was really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a nice area.
Yeah, I got to just take the rental car and drive by myself for 3 or 4 hours. I loved it. It's great.
You enjoy driving.
I do. I don't drive that often, but when I do,
I'm not a fan.
Well, I didn't, I guess I didn't used to be a fan as much, but now if I have time, I would love to just drive, time and money, of course. You need money to do it. So,
yeah. I was thinking of you the other day because some place around here was like, now serving beignets. And I'm like, no, you're not. You are absolutely not. Calm down.
Not the real good ones, but.
No. I feel like I want to try to home make those.
You should try. I don't think it'd be that hard. I don't think we've ever tried it.
Here's the thing. I don't think it would be that hard either. Mm-hmm. My problem is I'm a fairly good baker.
Okay.
And then I get into kicks. Like, I learned how to make homemade soft pretzels. And they're a lot easier than you would think, people, and therefore real dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
During the pandemic, we had so many soft pretzels.
I love those too.
So I'm like scared if the beignet is easy. Like the homemade cannoli, that's hard. Like you need time for that. But like I've made other homemade donuts before. Not that so hard. Yeah. So it's like
now you're eating it 5 times a week.
Yeah. Yep. You gotta like rein yourself in.
Yep. You need a budget of your beignets.
Yeah. And I'm not good with that.
It's hard because they are delicious. And like you said, it's so simple.
Like, food is always my Achilles heel. The one fight my husband and I had this entire year, we don't fight. Like, we just don't. We're weirdos. I go, what psychopath returns a container of cookies to the pantry with only 2 cookies in it? I'm like, that's not an appropriate amount of cookies to leave. And
reach down in it. There's only 2.
I want the kitten. She is the night. Look at her. She's the darkness. She's so cute.
I love kitty cats. We don't have any now, though.
You don't have any more?
No, because our dogs would kill them.
Oh.
Trying to play with them. Not purposely trying to hurt them, but just trying to play with them.
Trying to play with being too rough.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't want to name her because if I can't keep her, I got to give her away.
Oh.
Shall call her the Night.
Your cat had a litter?
If I was going to name her, I'd probably name her Shuri, like Black Panther's sister. But I'm not going to do that. Because I might have to give her away.
Well, don't get attached.
Okay, you're gonna have to be quiet or leave. Okay, bye.
Brent, what kind of dogs do you have? Brent.
Yep, I have 2 German Shepherds. Sorry.
It's okay.
We had one German Shepherd for a long time. Then we recently took on my girlfriend's father's German Shepherd, and we were worried they wouldn't get along, but they do, so it's good.
Aw.
German Shepherds are highly trainable, very smart, well-behaved dogs.
Yeah, I love them. They're great dogs. That's what I had when I was a kid growing up too. So
big suckers, though. What are they, like 80 pounds each?
About 80 and maybe 100.
Yeah.
Boys, almost 100. Yeah.
I did love him.
Got his hands on the cannolis, packed on some pounds. That one. Okay.
I'll show you a picture. He's trying to get my cannoli. I took a picture of him. I was like, no. Because I only had 2 of them, so I was like, I can't share.
Sorry, Betty. I did love him and his dog when he ran up the stairs to get. Which I was like, is he 10? Like he ran up the stairs and then got under the covers, and then his dog came and followed him.
Yeah.
I was like, how old is he? Because he was acting like he was 12 years old.
What was that stupid ass name his mom called him?
Scooter. Yep.
Scooter.
The dad was like, Anton would kick Scooter's ass.
Scooter.
I thought that was funny.
Another person who's wasted here, but you can tell why she might have been. Oh, Jen, I didn't even realize you had the shirt on. Great.
I was gonna say, did you notice?
I didn't notice until now.
You won that in one of our trivia nights?
He gave it to me.
Yeah, just from being so active in the group. She's like, "Hey, I want a shirt." I was like, "Okay, well."
Like I want one.
What do you use for your shirts? Do you have like a industrial press?
No, I don't make these at all. And I told anybody who wants to do this, but Amazon has a system to where you sign up and basically can create your own shirts and sell them.
This is what you're using. Okay, I was wondering. So how? Sorry. So you designed this though, yes?
I designed. Well, that was an easy design because I found those on the web and basically just made tweaks and alterations to them.
You're so good at this.
Now, typically,
Brent's amazing. What?
I could never sell that shirt because those are
because of licensing.
Those are trademarks. So I just kind of gave one here and there to a few people. You're about 1 in 10 people in the world who has that shirt now. So it's a cool looking shirt. I
love it. I think it's my second horror shirt ever, so I'm excited.
Oh, well, Jen, that's like how your mom got Jen's mom got our logo put on actual heels for us.
Yeah, I gotta post a picture to our Instagram.
Awesome.
Let me I'm gonna go grab them so I can show
them. Yeah, I don't know where I know where mine are, but I can't get to them.
Put them up, and I'd like to see maybe even post it in the group. Because there's lots of people in Shutter Horror fans that listen to you guys.
Are there really?
I don't know. But because it's 2 active members, so they like you guys, so I know that they listen.
Well, it's you and Chris.
Me and Chris? Oh.
Yeah. And neither one of you have written a review.
Yeah. Well, I was me and Jen had talked about that a while back, that it's not real intuitive on how to write a review. It's the way I was looking. I use an app called Pocket Casts. And
I think maybe you can only do it on Apple Podcasts. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we figured out. Yeah.
So Brent,
they're so cool.
That looks awesome. Now, how did you get that done? How did they make that? Because that looks so cool.
You just put it on. There's I think it was Shopify.
Okay.
And you can adjust you adjust your photo the way you want it. Because I had to before it was backwards, so I had to cut half so that it was.
Yeah.
Because usually this would be, and then this would be upside down if I did it the way that the logo goes. So we had to manipulate it and put this half this way and then get it this way.
I like the way it's really big on there too. Instead of like shrinking it down, I like the way it kind of it's oversized. I like the way that because it makes it stand out a lot better.
Right. And Alicia wore hers at Easter.
Confused my family.
Oh, did you?
Like, what?
What's going on with this? What's going on with Alicia?
I confused them.
I'm going to post a picture of them on my Instagram. I need to. I've been meaning to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, post them on Instagram. Post them in the group too, because I think everybody.
Oh, really?
Cool.
All right, I'll do that.
Those are very cool.
Yeah. Let's get back to the movie.
I know
I would say she was wasted because you can tell maybe why, because her acting is bad.
Wait,
Jessica Alba was bad.
Oh,
she's stunning to look at though, so she's easy on the eyes. But man, her acting was like, oh my god, who is this?
Here's my thing, ladies. If a boy shows up to your house and his shirt is covered in blood, don't proceed to make out with him.
So
have more self-respect than that.
It wasn't just. I was like, does she not see how janky he looks right now, like with the blood and?
But she saw it because when her parents drive up, she acknowledges it, and now I'm like, oh, so you noticed all this, and it worked for you.
That's funny. I clocked the exact same thing. I was like, oh, so you did know that he had blood on him. Okay.
She's janky as hell, and she wanted more than just
she was
make
like,
it out. She was ready to get it on.
It was like, man. I also thought it was funny that she wasn't like the popular girl in school, because the guys were making fun of him for having a crush on her. So it wasn't like, oh, you know, every guy likes her. It was kind of like his own.
No, weren't they making fun of him, not for having a crush on her, but for being too much of a pussy to do anything about it?
But if she were popular, then they'd be like, well, of course you're not going to do anything about it because she's the most popular girl in school.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought that was
I'll buy that.
Yeah, it was so bad, you know, how silly she was and how stupid she was to just bring him in.
She didn't bring anything to the movie. It was, and then even at the end, they just had her.
Sorry, I don't think that 40-year-old women were their target demo.
That is fair.
So I'm thinking Jessica Alba brought exactly what they wanted her.
That's why I'm saying, if you know she was eye candy, they should have put her in there more. And they just didn't. You know, that's if they were marketing to 15 to 30-year-olds.
Mistakes were made.
A lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And I guess just over the years, it's found its cult following audience because it only made $5 million back.
Oh yeah. Well,
on a $25 million budget. According,
I'm proud of them for making $5 million. I'm like, wow, good job, guys, because. Yeah. That's way more than I would have thought.
$5 million.
That's pretty good. Good job.
Well, here's my question. I wonder if anybody knows this. So, I mean, I'm sure I could probably look this up, but maybe one of you two who are a little bit more industry savvy than me know before I do a deep dive. So, here in New York, our ticket prices are $12 to $15 a movie. I would assume that the economy in the Midwest could not sustain, like we've been told, we have exorbitant costs of living. So is the ticket price set, like, say it's $5 to like the movie house and then whatever else the theater wants to charge? Like how, or is it overall sales based on all the theaters everywhere?
As far as I know, the theater buys the movie and then profit is just whatever they make over the movie. That's as far as I know.
That's mostly right. Yeah, at least in the old system.
So it's not based on individual sales of the movie.
I mean, it is. Like, they tell them how many people bought. Like, they probably calculate how many people actually bought tickets.
Yeah.
But the revenue isn't based upon that?
No, not the individual theater's revenue. I think when they say that, they're talking about just a movie made this much based on ticket sales.
Yeah. It's a roundabout number. It's never
it's not,
Right, but what I'm saying is, so ticket sales, regardless of the price of the individual theater, meaning each theater pays the movie, say, $5 per ticket sale. No. You're saying they buy
the theater buys the
movie for $100,000. However many theaters buy it for X, say just $100,000. That's how you decide.
I think that's right.
Revenue.
I could be totally wrong, but as far as I know, that's how it works.
Yeah, most theaters, from what I know too, just make money on the concessions. That's why most theaters don't really care if you go and pay for one movie and then bounce to another movie, because they know you're in there and you're more likely to spend money on concessions.
Snacks.
Yeah, that's why they don't really care about you bouncing over.
Hey, which by the way, if they lowered the price of their concessions, more people would probably buy more. Because if they had the $1.50 hot dog and soda like Costco, guess what? I would buy, I'd be like, yes, give me that.
I would too, yeah. But I think they just know this certain amount of people.
I would spend $20 faster than when I'm like, the hot dog for $7. Nah, I don't want to do that.
It's outrageous.
I barely spend 10, whereas if it were cheap, I would spend 20 like that.
You know, one thing I thought about the movie that was kind of funny, I had to look it up. Do you remember there was a bagel guillotine? That's a real product.
Oh,
I
you've
never
That's
never
knew
seen
awesome.
a bagel guillotine?
I never
Yeah,
heard-
when he
seen that or
tried
heard
to
that.
chop his hand off.
No, but I'm saying, Brent, you've never seen that in real life?
Never seen it.
Ah,
Never knew. So product placement.
it's for people like Alicia who may or may not accidentally cut themselves
Mm.
every time they cut a bagel to the point that their husband doesn't let them cut their own bagels, which is fine because I eat like one bagel a year.
Could you
But
cut
my
an
family,
onion with it?
like made fun of me once, and then my aunt was like, "You need to stop that." And then my other uncle saw me about to cut a bagel, and he's like, "Oh, now I know why Ed does that. Give me this knife." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're gonna cut yourself." I was like, "Okay."
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, especially you know, a person who likes to have a few drinks. You know, I was actually trying to cut cheese, like literally cut a slice
He
of
was trying to
cheese.
cut the cheese.
No, yeah, and
Yeah.
I caught my finger just a couple days ago. I'm like, damn,
Oh,
how
No.
stupid am I? You know,
no,
it
you're
wasn't super
Hey.
bad, but it was just like, you know,
I do it all the time.
if I had a bagel guillotine, that would have been a different
That would
story.
have been. I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
I have to tell you, the slap chop for like your onions and stuff, big fan. Big
Yeah.
fan of a slap chop.
I would get all these little I love kitchen gadgets
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Again, what was the infomercial you had showed me a while back? Kayaking, the kayak.
oh yes, yes, that
Oh
ad
God, that is so
is for a
funny.
kayak brand. Yeah.
It was like
I
an
own a
infomercial
kayak.
for a kayak. It
Yeah.
was so funny though. It just got crazy.
The ad was just, it was so brilliant. I'm like, that's the kind of advertising I want to do for my stuff because I
Put it on
I
our
still
YouTube
remember.
page, babe.
Yeah, I will because I
So
still
funny.
remember it to this. Like that's one of the best advertisements I've ever seen.
The Sham Wow, to this day, I will never not remember the Sham Wow.
Yeah.
Or what was his name? Billy
Yeah. Billy
I'll
Mays.
help you,
Billy
Billy
Mays.
Mays.
Billy Mays.
I've got overmodulated. You know, he's
Oh, he
You
was
know
so
how he died?
excited.
you know how he died?
Yes,
wasn't it like a
R.I.P.
heart
Billy Mays.
He was in a airplane that had turbulence and he banged his head against the roof. And they think maybe it was that accompanied with his heavy drug use.
Oh, well,
Or, you know, maybe I don't know,
a little bit of both.
a little bit of both. But you know the
Him
guy
and the My Pillow guy. Ooh.
yes.
Ugh.
Jim Lindell.
Jim
If
Lindell.
you haven't seen, there's just a couple nights ago, what's his name? The host on ABC, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy
Yes.
Kimmel did an interview with Lindell just a couple nights ago, and it's really interesting because Kimmel calls him out on so many things, and it's but he he carries a good conversation back and forth. It's a very good watch. And the other guy is Vince Offer. Now the guy who was the guy who did Slap Chop and ShamWow.
No. Do you know?
He became a movie producer?
Yes.
He did movie 43, that really offbeat movie.
Oh, yeah.
that
Yes,
has
TJ.
Halle Berry
makes
putting
sense.
her nipple in guacamole.
Yeah.
He was part of that.
Yeah,
he
that was
one-
like, wasn't that Halle Berry?
yeah.
Oh my word.
And that was really her putting her real
Her
nipple
boob
in guacamole.
In guacamole. I bet you could sell that. some, like-
They probably
Put some shellac on the top. Keep it
Oh,
sealed.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
that would
this
sell.
guacamole had once had the
The
nipple of
boob
the
of
full
Halle
boob.
Berry in it.
Yeah.
Are we? Where are we at in the movie? Where are we
okay,
at?
Nobody knows.
I tell you, as a a guy, and it's not just guys, but girls like to see boobs too. And we get a set of boobs at 1 hour and 7 minutes.
You know I don't like boobs.
Well,
We've had this conversation.
people
I don't-
listening.
But Jen, I show you mine all the time.
And that's fine.
Hey,
Brent's like, when can I get on that
yeah.
episode?
Is that a separate Skype call? Or something like
that
It's
episode.
It's more like, Jen, hey, check these out this week.
And you would have thought a stoner comedy like this would have had at least,
More boobs.
Right.
more sexual content, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
didn't. It was 1 hour and 7 minutes. It's the first and last set.
Yeah. Yep.
Hour and 7 minutes.
And I love that Vivica Fox actually went for that guy. The
Oh, at the
Yeah.
end,
yeah.
I'm watching like a TV show today that had more boob content than this movie, and not HBO. Younger on Paramount. Great show, by
Wait.
the way.
Whose boobs did we see?
it was a one of the guy's friends, and they were in a car outside of the dance.
Oh, and they were making out in the car.
Yeah, they were making out.
Yeah, I fast forwarded.
They were dressed as Kiss.
Yeah.
They were in costume as Kiss members.
Got it.
The guys, the heat was sweating off her makeup.
Yeah. It was steamy in that car, huh?
Steamy.
Like Titanic. You
And,
guys can't see, but I did a hand.
The hand.
The hand sliding down the steamy window.
No.
So romantic.
And then at that dance that they're at, it's cool because that's the Offspring playing.
Yeah.
That's Dexter Holland and the Offspring.
It was there was definitely 90s nostalgia. They were playing Sublime.
The music was great.
Yes.
That's the one thing.
Not nostalgia when it came out, just nostalgia.
No,
I know, but I'm saying for us watching now.
Feel like the 90s wasn't as long ago as it was, or is that just me? Oh my God.
We are now to the 90s what we were to like the 60s.
Yeah.
Which is very stupid.
It's crazy to think about. Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
You're not a fan of the 90s in general?
No, not a fan of how this feels.
Oh, the feel.
Yeah. Of my aging.
About my teenage years being the 60s relative. Yeah, no.
That was the one good thing I can say overall about this movie. There was Motley Crue, there was Offspring.
Oh yeah,
the soundtrack was good.
Soundtrack.
The soundtrack was good, and it kept things going.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one thing I really liked about the movie was all the music. Yep. I enjoyed that part.
Shit.
I thought it was very funny when they're going through the vents and Seth Green's bottle gets stuck.
Oh,
I thought it would have. I was hoping it would pop off the top too.
Oh, that would have been funny. That would have actually been funny.
And what I also thought was very funny is when he got the head back on. He was like, "I can't live like." I thought that was a pretty ingenious thought.
Yeah.
And then put the tape around. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So did they didn't really. I tried to tune in to figure out why they came back, but they just felt like coming back was what I got the vibe of. They just didn't go into the light. Okay.
They didn't go into the light.
It just wasn't a thought out thing.
No,
they were like, let's American Werewolf in London this, and then not have a reason for it. We just want his friends to be there as zombies because that's cool. Okay.
Another funny part too, I thought, and I even rewound it because I thought it was so funny is when Jessica Alba walks in one of the rooms, the thing comes down on her head, so it pops her on the head really hard.
Oh,
and then she
my God, yes.
Ow! She just falls over. Ow! You know.
I was like, oh crap.
Yeah. And she just goes, ow. And it's like totally dubbed. You can tell, ow. It's like just so
a lot of dubbing happened. Yeah. A lot of dubbing. Props to
that was funny. I wasn't ready for that, for her to get crashed in the head. Her friend though got worked by that fan.
Oh, yes.
And she got no blood splatter on her whatsoever.
Did y'all catch the guy's humor? Because like the two guys go find her. And he goes, "Oh man, I could have had sex." And then his friend goes, "You can still go back and get a piece." It's so cheesy and so bad.
I missed that line
because she's all torn up in pieces. It's just so bad.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, it was funny, but so bad.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, like you said, coming back to that end where they're like walking off into the light. It would have been, of course, it would have been so funny if we'd have faded out and then all of a sudden they were dancing with the Backstreet Boys, like in This Is the End.
This is the end.
This is the end. Something like that. So because now at 99, maybe they'd be dancing with the New Kids on the Block,
right?
Or something like that.
Have you seen This Is the End, Alicia? No, you would know. That doesn't. It's a yes or no.
Jonah Hill,
Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill.
Yes.
That skinny kid that I love.
Yes, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay. Yes.
Yeah.
He is very good in the movies.
Baruchel.
Yeah.
He's in Knocked Up. He's in
Tropic Thunder.
She's Out of My League.
Tropic Thunder was the first time where I was like, oh my goodness.
I love him and She's Out of My League.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, so this is what keeps happening to my husband and I. We keep wanting to watch This Is the End.
Oh my God.
And then can never, and Just Watch could really say, and we never get on the same page because last night I was just like, so for some reason I was like, oh, I just don't feel like I can commit to 2 hours of a movie. But then somehow we put on Mythic Quest and 4 episodes later, so 2 hours, I was like, I guess we'll stop.
I guess
For them.
I'm in. I'm good. This is the
but
end.
I can commit to many hours of Robert McInerney.
This
is
end
why
is
I
just
avoid
so
TV
fun.
shows, because I hate getting sucked into 8 episodes. You know,
Right? You're like, oh, I
to,
don't want to commit to anything, and then 10 episodes later, you're like, well, that was 10 hours of my
I can
life.
give my heart to a movie for 2 hours, but a TV show that has 8 seasons, I don't want to start it.
I just started The Sopranos. I'm on season 5, and it's
you did not just start.
No. I was waiting for Jen to call me out on the just start phase of that. Been
we
happening
talk about it for the last like 4 episodes.
Well, the other thing is, it's a very heavy show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not light. It's not like Schitt's Creek.
Oh, no.
Schitt's
No,
Creek.
you're like me. I'm
It's
still
not
on
a
like the second season of Ozark. Like I can't binge a show like that.
Bingeable.
No, I have to like take a
kind
break.
of sit and process it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to
stress.
Good shows
I'm
that have
feeling
details.
Happy.
Right.
Like Breaking Bad has so many small details that you cannot ignore them. And you can't just watch 5 episodes. You need to watch 1 or 2 and then think about it.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's why I think Breaking Bad was so much. I liked the show, but I binged it to the last season and then I watched it. But I think it's so much more enjoyable with that anticipation and with that time to think about it. And it's like, oh my God, what just happened? What's going to happen? Whereas where I was watching it back to back and it was like, oh, this happened. Oh my, it was like, it's emotional. Like, it's very,
there's sometimes I get annoyed because I'm like, because like with the Mighty Ducks. So obviously it's on regular Disney too. So like, I mean, they drop it the same day on Disney Plus, but it's 1 a week. I've gotten like spoiled.
I think,
but then spoiled. At the same time, it gives me something to look forward to. Friday nights while I'm at work, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna get myself some DQ, go home and watch the Mighty Ducks. Like a 10-year-old, I gotta get home to watch the Mighty Ducks.
I kind of enjoy the wait a week.
But you know, they don't make
still
TV shows.
Does that with all of their shows. So
they don't make TV shows the same way anymore because they used to make them designed knowing you'd watch 1 a week.
Yeah.
But now especially when you start a new show that's kind of in the last couple of years, they started off so fast. They think they need to jam so much down your throat to get you interested.
Because they have to keep you. Because now they're competing with so much stuff. They have to be able to get your attention and then keep your attention.
There is so much content.
Oh my God, it gets overwhelming.
It's exploding exponentially. You can't keep up.
No.
By the way, speaking of, since we're all horror people, I dislike Whoopi Goldberg and I dislike that other one. Should I give The Stand a chance? I have Paramount Plus and they're advertising.
I have no idea.
Neither of you watched it either.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Amber.
No, I talked to you, so I was like, I could pass.
I know. I feel like I love the book so much. I kind of just want to remember it the way it was.
Look, I know.
I tried to watch Under the Dome, and they did some things there, and I'm like.
Yeah, I tried to watch that one too. That was the one on CBS a few years back, right?
Yeah, that jumped. It jumped the shark like episode 5. You're like, no.
I find when there's something you really love, like and I've told somebody about this recently. There'll be a movie that I really love, and then they'll come out with a sequel, and for many years, sometimes forever, I'll avoid the sequel completely because I don't want you to spoil. I don't want to taint that movie in my mind.
Right.
Nope. For me, the one movie that I remember that's done that for me was The Matrix. I loved The Matrix so much. Like when I went, it was so cool, and the graphics were all new, and it was just like it was this cool new movie. And then the second one came out, and it was so much garbage to me. Like. Again, just my opinion. I hated the second one. I didn't see the third one, and it's hard for me to watch the first one just because that second one was so bad. Because it tainted the
first one, right? Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Are you saying Jaws 4, The Revenge, doesn't hold up?
Probably not.
Against Jaws? Blasphemy.
I actually started watching the Jaws movies. I'm sure that I've seen them, but I haven't seen them
every 4th of July. When I get home, my aunt has a 4th of July party at her house every year. And when I get home, and I have to be honest with you, my husband's such a love and he drives every year so that I can indulge with my family. Yeah, I get home and I'm drunk and I put on Jaws and it's the best way to end my 4th of July.
Well, Jaws is, it's still cheesy in some of the special effects, but that movie and the tension holds up more than ever.
No, that's the thing. And I always find something new that I didn't quite notice. And I love
movies like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? the things that they omitted from the book, at least for me, and I won't say what they are because I don't want to ruin them, but people who have read both will understand. I didn't think that the things in the book that they were omitted in the movie served the plot at all. So I was fine with the removal.
Fine with the way they did it?
Yeah.
And you're talking about the original the first Jaws.
Oh, yeah. No,
Now,
I'm talking about the action park.
The theme park.
The theme park.
Coming back to Jaws, I just picked this up a couple days ago. It's not very new.
You were talking about that. Yeah.
Oh my God. So I watched Jaws 3D for the first time, like in real 3D, and Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. And it is absolutely amazing. This thing,
is that the Oculus?
Yes, the Oculus.
Yeah, he's holding up the Oculus, just so you guys know.
The Quest 2, sorry. And the controllers are these. So basically, these are in your hand. It's amazing. You know, I tried the VR stuff years ago, and it was trash. So I stayed away from it. And then one of the guys in group told me, he said, "Hey, man, I just got one of these Oculus Quest 2s, and I watched Friday the 13th Part 3 in real 3D since the first time in the theater."
Back in the day when all Part 3s were 3D.
And he happened to tell me this when I was drinking. So I was like, screw it, I'm buying an Oculus. And I did. And I'm so glad I did, because when it came in, the first thing I saw when I logged in was this It experience. And it's something like 3 or 4 years ago, but it's just like a promo for It, the recent
new
It.
one.
Yeah. And you start walking down the street in the rain, and you can look everywhere. And then you see Pennywise in the drain, and he pulls you down. And eventually go through this drain, and it's so creepy. And at the very end,
now I need an Oculus Quest.
you can see Pennywise behind the balloons. All the balloons pop, and then all of a sudden he's right in your face. And all I could think of is, I can't wait to watch more movies like this, and I can't wait to maybe try to figure out how to produce some content
make movies like
how to
that.
make movies like this.
Oh my God.
It was just so cool. And this is like a demo that they made 2 or 3 years ago. So all the other stuff I tried was incredible.
Easy. That sounds so fun.
I didn't know you could watch 3D movies.
I did.
Yes, absolutely you can. Yep.
I did. I don't know if my friend has an Oculus, but I know she had VR for PlayStation, and I played, and I got nauseous because it's so real.
So, Brent, if you're the type of person, do you think if you were the type of person who got nauseous watching 3D on the big screen, you should avoid the Oculus?
I would say no, because I used to hate 3D on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
I'd prefer non-3D.
Hate it, or it made you physically ill?
It would make me ill sometimes.
I'm not trying to be sympathetic.
I think I only got ill because I chose a game that was very, like, it was on the moon or whatever, so there was a lot of jumping, and I think I
got my girlfriend to try it, and immediately she said it made her sick when she came out of it. But what I noticed is, watching her, she was looking all around, because it's so amazing. You're looking everywhere.
Yeah, you're looking everywhere.
And once you kind of understand it a little bit, you don't make those same head movements, same motion.
Because you don't do that in real life. You don't go like this.
You don't. But it's just so amazing. At first, you're looking around.
Yeah.
The very first thing I saw was, I was in a lobby of a movie theater, and it's so realistic that you can look around at everything. And then all of a sudden, I'm just sitting there looking around, and I yank my feet up because there was a Roomba going around the room, and I thought it was my real Roomba.
That's amazing.
Because I'll do that when it comes around in the house. We have one here. I pick my feet up.
That's so funny.
It's so
look
smooth.
Look at my bougie co-hosts with their Roombas. Some of us just clean our houses the old-fashioned.
Oh, I don't have one. I was just assuming that's
they
what
weren't that expensive now, and we did it to try to fight that German Shepherd dog hair. Oh,
that's a battle.
Do they have like a specific pet Roomba?
I don't think so, but they should. They should.
Ooh, I want money for it. If one comes out after this episode, I'm going to sue.
There we go. But that Roomba was so realistic in the VR that I literally picked my feet up for a second. And this is like, just almost, it feels like getting my first smartphone.
Oh.
It was just so exciting.
Did you think he was going somewhere else with that?
I was like, your first what?
A low job?
Or maybe
Low
my
job
first
was
computer.
blow job, the word you were looking for.
There is some really good VR porn. So
Okay.
Oh,
for men and women.
there we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
You really need porn when you have a woman making you homemade cannolis. These are
no, but it's interesting to see, and I want to figure out how to make a movie with this thing, like a real,
So for those who don't know, Brent, I don't know if we mentioned this, but again, he's the admin for the Shudder horror fan group.
We wonder why a number of our members end up in Facebook jail frequently.
Oh my God. I've been in jail. I've been on Facebook since its inception in 2005 for 16 years. Never been in jail. Joined this group. I've been in jail 3 times now because Facebook can't tell the difference between me commenting on a movie and me bullying people. I've never spoken out of turn to anyone my whole Facebook life.
So Jen, I almost ended up in jail because remember the guy who I guess it was in one of your dating profiles, simply asked you the word anal. And you had screenshotted Thomas the rest of the convo. And I was like, bitch, if Thomas gets the screenshot, I better get the screenshot too, ho. And it was like, I go to hit send. It's like, these go against our community standards. I'm like, I call her bitch at least 5 times a week in a lot.
In a real convo.
Yeah.
It's these algorithms are just all messed up right now. They're trying to figure out a way to tweak them.
Call each other bitch as a term of endearment. Listen, and this is what I've said to everybody. If I am crazy nice to you, assume I don't like you. Assume I don't like you.
I talk crazy to my friends. Like I talk crazy to my friends. If I don't talk crazy, then it's like,
Yeah.
I'm being too proper and I don't really like you because I'm not comfortable around you.
Right.
Not being me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but being pinched like that.
I have 2 burner accounts now.
Yeah.
Never had a burner account in my life.
So many times.
I've been pinched so many times.
Well, even myself, I got pinched twice in about 26 hours. I got pinched twice. I'm the admin of this group and I got pinched for what I did in the group because I said I hate British accents.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I was about
to
get pinched for that one too.
I can't. I'm like, why? Oh yeah, you both hate British accents. I love them, so don't stop listening to our show just because.
And I don't really hate them. I just I don't want to try to figure it out. I don't want to watch a movie with subtitles to try to figure out.
Oh, well, that's fair.
To be fair, I'm not. Some people's southern accent is way too heavy too.
You'll see that, like you ever seen Swamp People or what's the other one? Yeah, they're so heavy that
Duck
Dynasty.
That's rough.
They're so heavy that you got to put
anything you're saying.
You got to put.
And I understand because I'm a New Yorker, and it's very funny because like on Long Island, people who are quote unquote city people, so Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx. I grew up on the border of Queens, Nassau County. Our accent very different. Suffolk County, there's almost no accent. They're farm people. I don't know what's happening. So very funnily, one of our clients comes in with her daughter, and they're the funniest. We love them. And I do the mom, and she's like me, heavy Queens accent. And we get worse when we're together. And the daughter's like, what words are you saying? I'm like, just because you're over here pronouncing letters that don't need to be pronounced, it's okay. She loves to pronounce the letter R at the end of sentences. She says water. Water. I'm like, oh, you sound pompous. Don't pronounce it like that. It's water.
Well, I was about 17 and I moved to Ohio for a couple years. And everybody I met up there said they could not understand me because I had a heavy Cajun accent. Oh, so that was the first time it made me aware of it. So I purposely tried to change it and be more articulate. So you've got to say water.
You're very good because I would have never even known you had one.
Yeah.
In Cajun, how would you say water?
I don't know how you would say water offhand, but if you've ever seen Adam Sandler do Cajun Man, that's pretty heavy Cajun. Or The Water Boy, you've seen The Water Boy, right?
Yeah.
I can't drink. I'm an alcoholic. I fell off the wagon.
Wagon.
Guarantee. Well, why don't you think about quitting? Oh, rehabilitation. It's like, it's just like it's really a drag and just I mean, I didn't realize
Listen,
I had that. But.
I'll come to New Orleans and I will happily forgive the accent for any beignet you give me.
Yeah.
I have airline credits. I need to go somewhere. I should go to New Orleans.
Go visit Brent.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll meet you in New Orleans because it's only a couple hours away from me. I drive there all the time. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll show you a really cool. Like last time I went, I found this really cool cemetery. It's called Merrick Cemetery.
We're going there in the daytime if we go.
I wouldn't even go there at night. I was scared. I went by myself and I couldn't take as much video as I wanted because the area's a little rough, but it's the weird feeling of this. What happened was.
See, I'm getting Hatchet vibes.
Yeah, it's kind of hatchety. It is.
Yeah.
It's a cemetery that during Hurricane Katrina, all the graves were picked up and moved. It shifted around.
And now we're going to Poltergeist.
Sweet. Yeah, right. It is Poltergeist, right? But then what happened was all these other graveyards where the graves had moved and shifted, they shipped all these graves to this cemetery. So when you walk in, nothing matches. Everything's a hodgepodge. And it's just the tombs, there's tombs that are open. I'll send you both a video.
Jen's face is fantastic right now. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know why we thought putting our bodies in the soil was a great idea when cremation has always been an option. Yeah. It is not new technology. And God bless anybody who can be comfortable with that. But the idea of being in a box, somebody could rob my body. I'm very sexy, people. Somebody might want to do something with my corpse.
Right, I'm not going to be there.
Careful.
I'll probably get more dead than I do alive. I'm fine with that. But I don't want to spend. Why are you buying me a satin pillow? My neck's gonna be fine. It's gonna like, I don't need the frills. I don't need a nice fancy, like, put me in a cedar box. If you're gonna do it, I'm fine with cremation. Whatever is easiest.
I want to be cremated. Actually, I would like to be donated to science and then cremate.
Done.
Because I have a very rare disorder.
Can we donate you to a horror movie?
You can do whatever. Listen, as long as I'm donated to science first, so that they can use me to maybe try to find a cure for Darier's disease.
Yep.
Okay. Then whatever's left with my body, do whatever you want.
We can use it for a movie? Okay.
Yeah, you can use it for a horror movie. No
what disease is it you have? Darier's?
Darier's. So it's a genetic skin disorder. This is actually why Jen has seen my boobs so many times, is because I've been rashing and I've been showing like my progress of like flare to not flare. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So it creates very bad lesions on the skin. They weep, as we call it. Sometimes I scratch them so much I bleed. It creates bipolar depression in people. Bad splitting of the nails, anxiety, lesions on the scalp. So it's a lot.
But she handles it like a G. Because she is a G.
Yeah.
I guess the older you get, the more you can kind of figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah. You just discovered what was it? Baby
diaper cream.
Yeah, diaper
rash cream.
Huh.
Yeah. I was looking at it one day and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this. And I did.
That's real soothing.
Yeah, she had a breakout and she had showed me, and then the next week she was like, "Hey, I discovered baby rash cream since last week," and she showed it was
almost clear.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, you found something. That's cool.
So I steal it from my son.
Well, yes, we'll donate you to science and let them exploit you in a good way.
Yeah.
And then when they're done, you're going in our horror movie.
That's fine.
Yes. What was I? Oh, okay. I was saying, Brent's pretty brilliant. He's like, you want to be a filmmaker, right? Like, you're working on filmmaking.
It's not, I am trying to produce something now. But we did something a few years ago. I don't really tell many people about it because it's not that great.
Well, now like 15 people are going to hear about it.
Hopefully
15 to 24.
Let's get the.
Actually, the number will probably go up. People are going to be very excited in the group. They're going to want good Brent content.
I think so. I hope so. I hope they find it interesting. Yeah, so I want to do something. I've always wanted to do something. That's what I went to school for. I went to
Yeah.
school for film and video and did a bunch of things in TV, did a bunch of things in video, worked in, oh man, I used to do rap concerts for a long time. I used to do,
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. I loved it. In Houston, this is when I lived in
Love it.
Houston, and Houston has a real big rap scene. And then just got kind of sidetracked. And then when I came back to starting this group and like had all the, just seeing what people are making and just meeting people like you guys and seeing people create content, it's like, it's just so hard just to want to watch it and not make something.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
It's impossible
I want to be an actress,
for
and every
me.
time I watch these movies,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it! Like I want to be in that. I want to be the
Yeah.
person saying
You
those
Well,
would
you've
words.
done
die
quite a few
so
acting
well,
things.
Jen.
What?
You would die so well.
Right?
Let's just
That's
get you
awesome.
How
on
would you kill
SPU.
her?
Let's just get
Oh,
you
how would you
dead
kill
hook
me?
for #4.
Brent said, "How would you
How
kill
would
me?"
we kill her in the movie? Would it be something like the on Final Destination where the logs
Oh,
come off the truck?
Ooh.
oh, ooh. That's too fast. There's no acting involved in that. I just
Oh, that's true.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
true.
more like I could see Jen in a very good psychological thriller almost,
mm,
where like a crazy, either jealous, like girlfriend of an ex or something throws her down a flight of stairs and then the two of them are battling.
Donna
I could
Martin
see that.
style, right?
Yeah.
Like
yes.
90210.
I would
Yeah.
Go down
love
the
that.
stairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I
I
would
could
love
see
that.
that.
I would
And
love
then
that.
an action
A
flick where
little
they kind of
whatever
fight.
happened to
I don't
Baby
know if you've
Jane
seen my little
situation.
part in Transparent, but I did pretty good as a croupier.
Well,
I
I've
think
seen you in a
Brent's
couple
yeah.
things, and I think you look good on camera, and you look professional to me. So I think you should definitely
Thanks.
continue.
But
There we go. I'm sorry.
he but Brent throws together for Christmas. He threw together a little. Well, it was like a vignette of.
Oh, that was fun.
It was so fun. I
Yeah,
was
I
so
just wanted
upset
I
because I
wanted to
missed the
produce something.
beginning and
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening. And I was like, because it was so good. You did such a good job. You're really good at throwing things together. And I love that you have an eye. Like, you don't just look at things. You're like, oh, how can I also learn from this creatively? So I
It's
love that.
impossible for me to. It have always been this way. I can't watch something without thinking, how could I make it different, or how could it be better, or how could they change it?
Or how could you make it Brent? How could
Yeah,
you
how can make
put
it my
your
own
own
thing or
signature on
something?
it?
Yeah,
I love that.
it's so
You're
hard to do
always,
something
that's
creative.
so awesome. I love that about you because you're
Yeah,
always figuring out how to recreate it or make it better, or
yeah.
you're
Like
very, very creative.
somebody the other day said, "Hey, I love the way this looks in Creep Show, where like the characters are lit up with red and there's like this green behind them." And I said, "Oh, that would be so easy to do." And like I took my camera out and started trying to do it, and like within 30 seconds, I had a little
Oh
like
my God.
just a
Yeah.
picture. It was fun, and
And
I love doing all.
we need more people like that in Hollywood because I feel like even when we have horror movies that we love, the people behind it don't always have that love for it. Like
I have
the
to
one
say,
thing,
I feel like the guys over at A24 have a ridiculous love, and
Yeah.
those guys can shoot a
yeah,
scene. I mean,
you,
those guys know lighting. Those guys
yeah,
know
Yeah,
you
I
can
really
pulling on
like
that
those.
camera.
you can tell people who actually like horror versus people
Mhm.
who are just saying, oh, horror is popular, let's do that. Like
That's
for
so funny.
instance,
Yeah.
I know you haven't seen it. I think last time I checked, you hadn't seen 2018 Halloween was written by Danny McBride. And since he's around our age, you know that he watched Halloween as a kid
Right.
and he wrote it as a fan of Halloween. And it wasn't just like, oh, let's just make the sequel or whatever. No, he wrote it and he wrote a very good Halloween movie, in my opinion.
Everybody's
Well, I think it
skeptical
was very
because it was
smart
him.
too that he
Yeah.
retconned it, so nothing before or nothing after the original.
Yeah, it's kind of
had
it's an alternate timeline,
fine.
which I'm
And I
fine
think
with.
I think that's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine
I
with that. Like,
Yeah, everybody was just skeptical because it was Danny McBride, and
I
he's
didn't know
known to
until
be
I saw
comedy.
his.
Yeah,
I
He's
didn't
got
most
know
people
until I
didn't.
saw his name in the credits, and I was
Yeah,
like, Danny McBride wrote
yeah.
this?
And I loved it. I thought it was
Oh,
great.
so much fun.
I hate the way we lose Halloween Part 2 from 1981 because this story kind of diverts from it. But this one was
But
so
it,
good, I'm
but they can
overlooking
both
that.
exist
Yeah,
simultaneously because
yeah.
because
And
it's
that's
a
the way it
story.
is.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
just
you just take what you want from that timeline. Because I
yeah,
love, it's controversial. I love H2O. I
yeah,
think that movie is so fun.
yeah.
Uh, I love
You
it.
probably saw it at a certain time where you're very impressionable.
Right. Well,
Right? And it's good. I liked it.
no, I love like it was fun. It was a slash
You're
movie.
giving Jen an ageism. Like you're
No,
acting like
it could
Jen is
be.
young, Brent.
No, it could
She ain't
be
young.
anytime you see it. Anytime you see the movie, like there's certain movies I hadn't seen.
H2O
10,
though,
20
that would have been 97, right?
Well, yeah,
I think I was
late '90s somewhere.
Yeah. So
Or was it? No,
we were in high school.
It wasn't 2000, was it?
But yeah, I just knew Halloween. I thought it was
For some
incredible.
reason,
I loved it.
thought I was in college
I saw it
when
twice in
H2O
theaters.
came out.
What?
Yeah, I saw it twice too, Jen. Yeah, in the
Because it
theater.
was so good.
Yeah, it was so good. And I love the little
1998 was H2O.
Okay, so I was 15.
the little homages that they did
I always
in
forget how much younger than me you are.
And also, LL Cool J, the black guy that does not die. I think he has it in his contracts that he cannot die in movies because he never. Oh, spoiler alert for H2O.
That wasn't LL Cool J, was it? Wasn't it Busta Rhymes? No, not Busta Rhymes. That was
Sir.
Busta Rhymes was Nightmare on Elm
Was
Street.
on Resurrection. No, Busta Rhymes was Resurrection. He was in Halloween, but he was in Resurrection.
Oh, Resurrection. Okay.
But H2O was LL
I don't know
Cool
those.
J.
Apparently, unfortunately, Josh Hartnett too.
Yeah, I love Josh.
I like him. He's cool.
But I don't mind the two. Like I'm fine with those.
Michelle
two.
Williams, I forgot she was in that.
Yeah, she's in it.
She's cool.
She's
I like her.
amazing. She's a great actress. And it's funny because
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Now I feel like I want to watch this again.
Well, he was in.
I like him a
Wasn't
lot
he
too.
in Resurrection?
It says H2O.
Really?
Maybe
I
he's-
always get those confused because he must die in the intro. Because I remember how he dies and where he dies, but I always think
Well,
that's
let's look up Halloween Resurrection.
But I can
Maybe he
enjoy
took
both those timelines. Now throw in Rob Zombie and I'm like, no.
You didn't like the Rob Zombie?
I
recommend
hated Rob Zombie. We
I
talked
liked
about
it.
this.
I liked it a lot, but I didn't really like the second part. But the first part, I really like it.
See, we sat through the first Rob Zombie. I had a whole diatribe. Did you see? You saw that? I wrote a whole thing and I posted it in the thing of why I did not like it. We talked about this.
I'm gonna have to go and look. I don't remember, but I will have to look at that again.
It's a whole. I don't remember.
But I could see where a lot of people wouldn't like it, you know.
And it's not. Yeah, and for me, it's not arbitrary. It's not just that sucks. I always have a reason for why I don't like it because.
Well, I hate when people just say something sucks and they can't back it up with some logic.
I can completely.
I need you to have. I even say that when it comes to anything.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're anti. If you're anti-Democrats, I need you to have a full-fledged reason. Anti-Republicans, I need you to have a full-fledged reason.
Yeah.
Anti the Mormon Church, I'm going to need you to have some bull.
Yeah, just some logic.
Anti-pink ice cream.
Well, now you just shut your whole mouth. If you're anti-ice cream, you don't get a second date with Alicia.
Facebook jail. She said whore.
You're
I know.
in jail now. I'm just saying, like, just have something to back it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just some reasoning, some logic behind why.
There's no logic behind not liking ice cream.
Well,
of all the things I could have said,
probably
I was
not.
picking something random.
She knew what would trigger me, Brent.
I did not actually, but now I know.
Did I ever tell you I went on a date with a guy and I suggested us getting ice cream and he was like, I don't eat ice cream. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry you're lactose intolerant. He goes, why do you think I'm lactose intolerant? I said, you don't eat ice cream. He goes, no, I just don't like it. I need the whole world to know there was no second date.
Yeah.
I can't imagine somebody not liking ice cream either.
Like, who doesn't like ice cream?
Even a baby. Okay, the first time I gave my son ice cream, his little cherub face lit up like
babies. There's videos of babies tasting ice cream for the first time, and it's the most magical thing that you've ever seen.
He was sold on the whole idea. So sold, guys, that I lied to him about what the ice cream man is. And we drove. Oh, that's just the guy who rudely plays his music too loud. I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I've got like 1 year of that left, guys.
I went to the store the other day and found some horchata ice cream. Like, and it was incredible. Like, I don't really like horchata as a drink, but as an ice cream, it was so silky, smooth, and creamy. I was amazed.
Yeah, because I don't like it either. My mom.
It was a Mexican brand of like, ice cream at a local store. It was incredible.
one of my clients, she struck me as the type of woman, because I want an ice cream maker, but they're so expensive. And she has struck me as the type of woman who would. I was like, babe, do you have like an ice cream maker collecting dust in your basement? She's like, oh yeah, somebody gave me a Cuisinart and I've never used it. I'll bring it next time. You can have
That's
it. I was like,
amazing.
score. And I'm definitely making some alcohol infused ice creams this summer.
That was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. I would take that.
Mm-hmm.
I found an ice cream cookbook, and it was on my shelf, and my son keeps bringing it over to me. I'm like, we're working on it. Buddy.
It's gonna happen. Just
don't worry.
give me time.
I just remember making ice cream as a kid, where it was like you had to sit there. It was like in a bucket that you went in circles, and it like you'd put salt on it because it makes it colder.
So what your mom probably did, because this is what my grandmother did, is you would take your large gallon coffee can, metal coffee can. Then you'd get your little pint coffee can, clean them out real well. Stick the ingredients in the pint one, put your salt and ice.
Right.
Yep.
And then she'd have she'd, like me and her would sit on the floor and roll it back and forth to each other. Me and my
very
mom.
similar to that. Yep.
Yeah.
And it was never really good from what I remember, because now ice cream is so silky smooth.
Yeah, it never gets that churn smooth, but it's fun to do with little kids.
Do you have like any really good brands up there that like if somebody
I
came
have
up there?
So near me, I feel like I'm in food heaven, especially with that. So we have 4 very high-end private ice cream shops by us. McNulty's, Magic Fountain, Snowflake, and there's another one whose name I never remember. It's all the way in Bayshore, so I never get there. And then the one I grew up that's been on the Food Network many times was Ickens and Valley Stream. And these are like local, like, and they make like really funky flavors. So like Magic Fountain makes things like lavender basil and like turtle and which is like a caramel nutty thing. Yeah, we have like really high-end places like that.
Yeah, those sound good. I like when the small places that like just get real creative. Yep. Do you guys have Bluebell ice cream up there?
We have.
I want Bluebell
so
bad. So have you ever guys watched Good Mythical Morning? Rhett and Link?
I've seen it or heard of it, but I'm not sure.
So it's a YouTube show and I'm obsessed.
Oh,
and they do, like
yes, one guy with the glasses. Yep, I know.
Yeah, that's Link.
Yep.
And Bluebell has this banana pudding flavor that ranked very highly in their ultimate ice cream competition. I'm like, I want to try that so bad.
Yeah, we have that a lot around
Bluebell's the shit.
It's pretty good. When you go to Dallas for the fair, make sure you get it.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to. It was on my list of things to do while I'm at Mom's.
There's another brand called Borden's that you might like too. I'll send you a link for it, so maybe you'll look for it.
And now in New York City, there's a new, and I always forget the name of it, but it's an alcohol ice cream parlor. You have to be over 21 to go in, and they give you like scoop flights, so you can pick like 4. Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Yes, but we can't go yet. We gotta wait until it reopens.
I want to go.
My dogs are going crazy here. My girlfriend's pulling up.
Oh.
Fine.
But so you're going to make ice cream with alcohol. So
yes.
So basically you're going to do some research at this alcohol place that you're telling us about.
Yeah.
Just strictly research.
Strictly research.
Write it off as a business expense, you know?
Yeah. So should we finish up this movie?
Yeah.
Everybody's overall thoughts. Anybody have a favorite kill? Anything?
I would say it's nothing horror related to me. It's kind of a comedy, a few horror elements.
Yep.
It's a fun stoner flick if you're into that kind of thing. And the music was good. I like the main actors. I thought they did cool. But and I might recommend it to some people, but anybody looking for a horror movie, I would never say to watch Idle Hands.
How many heels would you give it out of 5?
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Man. It wasn't, the production was good, so maybe 2.
Okay.
The production was good, so I brought it up to 2.
You know? Well, I mean,
That's a great. No,
for
don't
me.
change it. Don't change
For
it.
me.
Don't
That
change it. No,
answer was
you're
amazing.
pot committed to 2.
You know, for
That
me.
was amazing. No, I
For-
love that. You were
you
like,
know-
it was good. So 2. Okay,
But
that
somebody
tells you
else
what you're.
might watch it and say, "Oh, that's a 4."
You know what? This is about your opinion. I want to
Yeah.
know
Your opinion.
So 2 heels. There you go.
Yeah.
Jen, how many heels would you give this?
I'd probably. I mean, they were Brent. I'd have to say 2.
For a separate reason, it had Seth Green, so I would give it 2.
You don't like him?
I love him.
No,
That's
love
why
him.
it's getting
That's
2.
why it gets 2.
Yeah.
I love him in Sex Drive, where he's this Amish kid. Have you ever seen that? It's a great comedy called Sex Drive. It's a must-watch.
I've heard that's got James Marsden in it, doesn't it?
Yes, he's the big brother.
Being a movie knowledge I have of movies I don't even know, but
that's
a
great movie. That's a great comedy, in my opinion.
Well,
you know,
Jen, this is why we've got to get the trivia competition.
Brent,
will you come back if we do a trivia competition?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
He'd be good at that.
I'm actually working on something too for Shudder horror fans for a trivia.
Yes.
A trivia game. Now, I have a Saturday Night Live group, and we did it about 2 weeks ago. I did the beta test for the trivia game.
Test all your stuff in that group.
It went great, and this game will work in our group.
You're really good.
I want to be a beta tester.
So wait, how old is the Shudder group? Because I just joined last year.
I don't really know. I would think at the most it might be 3 years old.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, it really took off when the pandemic struck.
COVID. Yeah, that's when I started.
And at that point, we were doing live group watches because I knew that people want to watch horror with other people.
Oh my god, it was
it's
my
so
parents,
great.
Yeah.
My parents would be like, "Are you doing a watch party tonight?" Like, because they know that I watch movies with you guys so much.
And back then, Facebook posts used to work. It actually used to work.
Yeah.
In the beginning of Joe Bob, or I guess about this time last year, it still worked. And then it started going downhill where, the comments don't load right, it doesn't refresh right. And that's why, and now we've become segmented because we've got people chatting in Facebook Messenger. You've got people chatting
on the thread.
On the thread.
Do you think we could ever, or do you think it's too non-user friendly to switch to Discord for the chat?
That's what I've been trying. Hey, I've been advocating for
I'd love to switch.
If you use Discord, you should start beta testing with me because I started messing with that a couple weeks ago. I think it's. It is not user friendly. In my opinion,
it's a little confusing.
It's a little confusing, but if you're just being a member, participating in it, it's not hard. But what we learned is that people are so lazy to switch to anything.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I think if you start making that the norm, people will be like, okay, fine. Like, I think.
Oh yeah. If we just stop the thread.
Yeah. Because I'm tired of Facebook.
I feel
I don't deserve to be in jail.
You don't want to be in jail either,
And also, while our group is very large, I feel like we have a strong
core group.
Our core watch group is very different. That's like
over.
One night when certain people got annoyed at the Dirty Dancing watch party.
Right. It was like
I looked at the people and I'm not. Listen, I can't make every watch party. I completely.
You didn't even know who they were. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know who you people are, so. I feel like
you don't matter because we don't know who you are. That's what most of those people were. Just who are you?
Just random people.
We were all like, who are you?
And the regular people don't care. They're like, okay, that's fine. I just won't watch. Like, if that's not their thing, they're just like, I'm just gonna skip
turn it off.
Movies that aren't my thing, and I'm just like, I'll catch you guys every time I see a bug movie. More power to y'all. It ain't my thing. I'll catch you the next time.
Because this group is so this is one of my favorite groups on Facebook. Like, I joined in July. I think it was a week after my birthday last year, and I was just like, these people are so amazing, and they're so. This is one of the best moderated groups I've ever.
Yes.
Like,
that's
if
hard
you
work.
guys love horror, you need to be in this group on Facebook.
I saw 2 posts today, and immediately within I was
shut down.
Comment shut. I was like, thank God.
But it's not. Oh, we're just gonna shut down anyone who doesn't like our opinion. No, it's only if you personally are not a nice person to other people who have different. Yeah, it's like you cannot like a movie and argue about it or to have a discussion about it. It's not because you don't like this movie, we're gonna shut you down. It's like, no, if you're rude to people or you don't know how to be a civilized person to people, then we're gonna shut that down.
Conversation, and I like to let it go as long as it possibly can.
Right.
because
Right.
you know it really brings out information and details that maybe you didn't
Because
think
that's
of.
what it's for. Like maybe I don't like this movie or I don't want to see this movie, but if you say,
Yeah.
hey, it's got this and this, then I'm like, oh well, maybe I should give it a shot. Like to me,
Yeah.
I want to hear those different opinions and I want to hear that, but I want to hear it respectfully.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
don't want people just coming and trashing things that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people feel
It's
that
really hard moderating the group, and
you
that's
guys are
why
such
I
guys
think
do such a good
Michelle has done a great job.
shout out to all
Michelle.
shout out all the
She's on top of it.
Yeah, she's
Like,
really
if you
good.
hit on her boob and she's like shutting you down,
Brent.
shutting you down.
Yeah.
Brent, shout out all the moderators
Yeah,
because
I mean, we couldn't have done it without Michelle. Nick was great, and he is great, but Nick is so busy in his personal life right now that he can't do much.
yeah.
But I mean, me and him, if it wasn't for him, I couldn't have built the group too. You know, we worked together, and of course, you know, we took on Jesse. Jesse's helped a lot. Chris Long's helped a lot. He's been great.
Also known as our number one fan.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I love Chris.
Yep, he's great. So without them, the group would have not been where it's at today because, you know, I can't be. It's you become a slave to the group if you don't
right.
have moderators that you can trust.
How many people are signing up to host and do the group watches, like Chris and Fertilla, like Jen and Tom.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't get asked, but whatever, Jen. Whatever.
Well, you know, yeah, it's still open. You know, I like the idea of having those filled because people want to watch a movie every night if they could. I just can't do it every night.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and so it's nice to
now we
spread
have
it out. Because at one point we were just basically watch parties every night. It wasn't official, but it was like, hey, I want to watch something. Hey, because you're watching a movie by yourself and you're like, oh, I
that
just
still
want.
happens all the time too, like impromptu. I love that. Just out of nowhere, it might be like 2 in the morning.
I just want the whole world to know, though, that my co-host didn't even clear my schedule with me before she picked Gremlins.
Oh.
And I had to go into work and I missed the Gremlins watch party. And I just want you all to know my girl did me dirty.
That was Thomas's movie. I did not pick Gremlins.
Yeah.
He picked that. I picked mine.
You should have had my back and been like, no, Tom, we need to wait for Alicia.
Jen has picked some really good movies. What was the John Ritter one again, Jen? What was that one called?
Stay tuned. That was one of my favorite ones.
I love John Ritter, and I had never seen it.
That was so fun because I was
Ritter. Another person just gone way too soon.
Yeah. He was only 50
I was so sad when we were watching the original It together. I was like,
I love John. Yeah. And he's one of those where you don't like it was unfortunate, but I didn't realize how much I loved him till he died. And I was like, damn it. I was like, oh, I was like, I really enjoyed him and I liked him. And it was just
Three's Company. Three's Company might be the best.
Really attractive.
I need to watch that show. Oh, yeah. Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a series on a couple years
Not
ago.
with him, but he karaokeed at a place that I was at once. Love him.
You'll be karaokeing with some of the stars at Texas Frightmare because they will do karaoke.
Oh my god!
And
so ready.
The cool stars will be on that stage, and they like to pull people up. You know,
I need that in my life.
You guys are making me so jealous.
Sorry.
It's a lot of fun. That whole weekend's gonna fly by so fast. That's the problem.
Do they do it every year?
Every year.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Next year.
It's growing so much. I've been the last. Well, I couldn't go last year, but this will be I think the 5th year that we go. Or maybe 4th. But it was incredible. It's an incredible time, and it's close to us. You know, because I swing over to Houston, I pick up Nick, and then we drive up to Dallas and make it a long weekend.
Buying shirts. I'm so excited.
It's going to be awesome.
Jen, we need to get some shirts made so that you can wear them around Frightmare.
Yes.
Maybe get some business cards so you can hand them out.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Yeah. If you want me to help you with that, let me know. Or just, like I said, that's part of something I do. I sell T-shirts online, and I make a pretty good amount of money. It's growing. It's slowly growing.
Really?
It's easy to do. Yeah.
I want to do that because one of my things, I don't want to say this, but like for me, I need a V-neck because I have broad my shoulders. Like I need to kind of lighten that, but not a lot of horror shirts come in the female V-neck. They're all up here. So I want to have a shop where I sell, and I love obscure horror. Like I can't think of it right now because I've had 2 drinks, but the the sleepaway camp. So like that camp,
Yeah.
and have like a camp counselor shirt like that. Like I don't like. I love the overt ones are fun, but the ones that
The
are
ones
like
that,
subtle,
not everybody figures
yeah,
out.
that you only
Like what
know
you're
if
wearing
you
now is
know.
obvious, but there's some that I've created that are like very, very
And
subtle.
it's like, oh, you would only know that. Like even a like Got Wood, which is what Ed wears in Shaun of the Dead, like that kind of
Yeah.
subtle shirt where it's like, oh, only certain people know what that is. I love that kind of stuff. So I would love to have that in more like V-neck
Yeah.
shirts for women. And
Did you
Now,
guys
Brent,
ever watch How I Met Your Mother? TV show? How?
not
No.
enough to know enough.
I did.
So in the very ending is just they're
Jen,
chasing the yellow.
you
The yellow.
nodded like you were embarrassed to say I did.
No, I wasn't embarrassed. It's the saddest because I love that show so much and I hated the ending so much.
Oh,
That
okay.
Yes.
Because your face had a lot of emotion.
yeah, because that's what it does to me because I love the show so much.
It's basically him telling a story of how he loves Aunt Robin, basically for him to get permission from his kids to go
to bang Aunt Robin, and
Robin.
I can't.
It's weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, so I made some shirts with a little subtle things like that, and they did well. It's fun to do the subtle things.
Obscure,
because, I want to do obscure
stuff
stuff because
you have to be a real fan to get it. Like that.
Yeah.
That.
And you
I
can't
love
really
that for cosplay too, where it's like you're not this. You're like Freddy Krueger. That's cool, but if you're like the roach girl who got turned into a roach, and that's your like that. That's cool because only people who know that will get that.
And if you're trying to sell shirts, you can't create these trademark, shirts.
Anyway,
Can't
so
create
you
these
might
brands. Might as well think of something obscure and do it a simple way.
Right.
And then you create a whole different type of person finding your work.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
It's very interesting in the cricket community how many people don't understand basic copyright law and keep trying to sell. Now, am I going to sit here and lie and say that I didn't make myself a Pennywise decal and stick it on my own?
Yourself. Yeah.
But I don't sell anything.
Yourself. Yeah.
Like even, we're not affiliated with Shudder, the company. Right. So even the Shudder Horror Fans t-shirt that I give out, I can't sell that because it says Shudder and it's their trademarked design logo. Yeah. So, I mean,
Shudder should be happy to have us though.
Right.
They are.
Okay.
We tried to create an affiliation with them because they have an affiliate program, and we know we made them money because we used to promote them.
Yeah, but when even just this week, people have been like, I finally signed up for Shudder just because of this group.
Yeah. And when we could not talk to the right people who would say, okay, you've sent us this many signups because they just gave us the runaround, then we just pulled our advertising for them, and just said, oh, well, it just is what it is. Yeah. And I guess the bigger they grow, they don't really care, but they should be happy. And that's why I don't think they care about things like a, t-shirt here and there.
Right.
But I would never put up the shirt for sale.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I like to make it more like, hey, you got to win it. Make it special.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fun.
So, I'm not trying to make money on this. I'm just, if you can win a shirt, it's more fun,
Yeah. Oh, I love this group. It's one of the reasons why I have not deleted Facebook. Yeah.
Well, we worked really hard to create that kind of a family type atmosphere, and not everybody's going to fit into that.
No,
but we try to make it to where,
there were times there were times in the chat where one of us has said, "Oh, I'm so just glad to be here. I've had a really bad day." We talked outside of movies. I mean, when Jen and I said, "Hey, we have to skip this week. Alicia's very sick." Everybody was like, "Alicia, I hope you feel better soon. Get well." Other people have said, when Michelle had her baby and other people had their babies, we're so excited. It really is a little family, and it's beautiful.
Horror fans are some of the nicest people on the planet, and it's we like that stuff because that's not us, and we just it's fascinating to us because we're not that.
My aunt always asks me, especially because I could never imagine doing these things to another person that I want to know.
It's what fascinating
drives, and I think that's why ghost stories and stuff, as much as I enjoy them, they don't get to my core as much as say the Hostels, as much as say the kidnapping movie.
A ghost has never messed with me.
Stories.
Right.
Like exorcism stories, I'm like, like paranormal, I'm like, I'll watch it, but I'm not like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I prefer the ones that are, the scary ones are the ones that can really happen, and that's
right.
the
And
ones
you're like,
I
oh
like.
God, that could actually
Yeah.
happen to me.
Yeah. And I'm not saying ghosts are not real, but a ghost has never messed with me,
Right.
and the
So
devil
like,
has never messed with me directly, so I don't know. So
Yeah.
those kind of things don't mess with me.
He's recruiting me for wifedom, so
oh Lord.
And that's
I feel
why
like I do great in that role.
I like the ones that like a good slasher when it's done right, or
Yeah.
a couple movies like Funny Games. If you've ever seen that one, that's a great scary movie.
I even loved Ready or Not. I
I
thought
love
that
that
was
movie.
That's a good movie.
such,
So
first of
good.
all,
It's very good.
Adam Brody just hits it. What I love is when in a horror movie you can have somebody just hit the comedic timing so perfect. Even the fat like brother-in-law who doesn't understand how he got
I loved
into
him.
this family, and he's like Googling deals with the devil, true or false, and I'm like, not the time, dude. As I'm laughing my ass off, I'm like, look at this fool.
Oh, he was great.
It's a
Maybe
good movie.
sometime in the last 5 years that you've been in this family, you should have done a Google search.
That's a well done movie.
It is.
That's
The
'cause-
one, like, it's one of those movies that, like, even though you kind of know the premise, right? Like, it's so well acted.
Yeah.
The script is so good. The interpersonal dynamics between the different family members are so well done that you're hooked. So even when you come to the final scene that you knew was going to be the eventuality, you are fully satisfied as a viewer because every other desire as far as debts are met. Just pain is met. Comedy is met. Interpersonal relationships met. So
and you care about the character.
You do.
Yeah, that was a well done movie for sure.
It was so well done. I that's one of the newer ones that
a newer one.
I could watch over and over again and feel like I could enjoy repeatedly. There's other ones that I think have been done very well. I mean, I loved Midsommar. I don't know that I could watch it again. It's too unfun.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's a miserable experience in the end because it's like just you feel like the world is
it's like what are we
all
even
dark.
doing? What are we doing?
Why are we living here? Yeah. But I loved it.
But I still want, and I want to show people who haven't seen it. Like, I don't like it enough to watch it by myself. But if you're like you haven't seen it, I'm like,
I would definitely watch it with anybody
because I like the shocker moments are kind of good,
right?
And it's like it's worth watching at least once,
right?
I would watch it. I love watching movies with someone who hasn't seen it. I can always watch, even a mid, decent to good movie once with someone who hasn't watched.
I remember watching The Mist with my husband who had never seen it, and the ending, which as a reader of the book, so that was very hard for me because the movie almost verbatim follows the book until you get to the last
until the ending,
and you're like, holy crap. And I never read Stephen King's interviews about movies until I watch them just because I find him to be very spoiler heavy. Obviously, I mean, understandably so. No, he loved it.
Oh, okay.
He said he is more in love with Frank Darabont's ending than his ending.
That's amazing.
I never read the book, but that ending of The Mist.
I actually laughed. Me and my brother laughed so hard at that ending because it was just like, wow, you guys.
I love that the army, the woman who left first.
Oh, it was Carol. Yep. Carol
amazing.
from Walking Dead.
Yep.
And because everyone was like, you're crazy. Don't go after your kids. And not only did she go out there and find her kids, but then she was fine. And my problem was
real fucking easy for a room full of people who have their goddamn children with them or don't have any children to tell what that now as a mom, and I gotta say I understood it then, but now as a mom, the fact that she didn't bloody up anybody's face who tried to stop her shows, because I would have bloodied somebody's face who tried to keep me from getting back to TJ. Bottom line.
And then just they gave up so quickly. It was like they weren't in danger. They just ran out of gas, and there's 20 million cars around you probably with gas. Like their moment of like, this is absolute disaster. If it had said like 1 month later, we're out of food, like we don't even know where to go, like, and everyone's in like Rambo outfits and they've been through it and they're like, we're done.
Exactly.
It'd be like, okay, God, that would have hurt. I would have been like, that sucks, because they lasted that long and they were that close to getting rescued. They ran out of gas for like not even a whole minute, and they were like, well, looks like we
time to shoot my kids.
Shoot ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, you do not forget that ending. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I like that movie overall. But
yeah,
you're right. In the end, they should have just tried it a little bit harder.
It was like they ran out of gas with 20 cars around them that probably had gas, and they were like, well, we gotta just end it.
Yeah, dot.
Like, you guys have
it was in the script.
Yeah.
They weren't, if a monster wasn't even rocking the car, like there was nothing happening. They were sitting there in quiet.
But I think that's what makes the reveal more harrowing.
It is.
How,
kind of comes out of nowhere.
It's how quickly they gave up as a group.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that, I think that's part of the point.
Yeah. And for me, that makes it a comedy. Like for me, I laugh at that because I'm like, haha, like you should have had they said they went a month, they went a week, they went some amount of time, and then they gave up, and then after all that time, then they gave up, and then help came like that would have, oh my God, I would have been like, oh.
Yeah, I guess for some people it does become a comedy at that point.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, you gave up so quickly.
But I'm with Alicia. It's like, that scene happens and it's just like all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, he gave up so easy. And if he had just waited 8 more seconds,
Right.
Right.
But it's funny, you ask people, are there movies or things that really scare you? And a lot of people say, no, there's not anything that scares me anymore because they're so desensitized. And I get that. But don't you enjoy watching a movie that's so well done that you feel the fear of the people in it?
Right.
Yeah.
I love to watch a movie like where maybe it's a woman who's being chased, but I can feel her fear.
The fear, yeah.
So it doesn't have to be scary to me, but it has to be scary to the character that
you're living through her.
Yeah, exactly. And so many people don't look at movies that way. And, so many people do, but there's a lot of people who don't.
And there's people who just refuse. And so you got to let yourself suspend belief.
Yeah.
Like I go to Universal Studios, like the Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's not real, but I let myself pretend that it could be real, and I get freaked. Like I scream, I run, like I'm terrified. But I know in general that it's not real, but it's fun for me. And then people go there like, oh, that's not scary, and they try to be all tough. And I'm like, then why are you here? I come here because I want to act like I'm scared.
Right.
I want to be scared. I want that feeling of, I don't know, it's adrenaline. It's fun. Like
that's what this VR was like too. I knew it was fake, but when Pennywise popped up right in front of me, and it felt like he was right there.
Right.
It's incredible.
Right.
I want to figure out a way to make
Brent,
some stuff.
what was your first horror movie?
The very first horror movie that I ever saw. Okay, I'll give you a quick rundown because I always found this interesting. When I was a kid, the commercials for Halloween 1978 came on the TV. Just the commercial. And that scared, because I remember it was late night. My parents were asleep. I was up watching TV. And just the commercials came on and scared the shit out of me. Just the commercial for it.
That's
a 30-second commercial. But I didn't see that movie for a while. So the very first one I saw was Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Oh,
and I saw it at a friend's house. They had a VCR, and their mom would let them rent that kind of stuff. My mom would not let me rent it. But I was over there, and I remember coming home, and like I don't even think I could walk home. Maybe it was like 3 houses down. I think somebody had to walk with me. But I couldn't sleep for a week because it was so shocking to see all this blood, carnage, the death scenes. And just, so that movie has always stuck out with me. And it's funny because the anniversary was just like a day or two ago. I guess it's the 40th anniversary of it. Yeah. Of that movie. Because it came out in 81, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday the 13th, Part 2 was the very first one that I saw that changed I always knew I was into them because I saw, like I said, I saw commercials for Halloween, but hadn't seen the movie until after Friday the 13th Part 2. But that movie shocked me enough to where I've just been on that thrill ever since, trying to
Yep.
get that moment again, of being so scared that I'd sit in my room for like a week. It felt like I didn't sleep for a week. Put myself in the corner so nobody could come through the window or the door without me
Aw.
knowing, you know?
Yep.
And I would have been like 10 years old. So 11, yeah, 10. So it was scary. What about you guys? Jen, what was your first movie?
Oh, I was
First
so
horror?
little. I don't even know because my
I
dad
don't
used
even
to take
remember.
me as an infant to like Friday
What's the
or
first one that
Nightmare on
really
Elm Street.
stands out?
It would have to be a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even remember going. Like, kids are always like, "Oh, I remember my first rated R." I don't remember my first rated R movie. I was going to rated R
It
movies
kind of blends in, yeah.
as a child. Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
that
I
we
remember.
saw
I
that.
do.
already.
I do remember we saw a double feature at the drive-in. It was Terminator 2 and this random movie called Body Parts.
Body Parts. I'm trying to
And
remember what Body Parts is.
it's from what I remember because I haven't seen it in a long time. This man gets transplants, and I think it's a killer's body parts that he ends up getting.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember in my bunk bed, I was on the top bunk, and I was so terrified. Like, that scared me. Like, not Freddy, not Jason, not Michael Myers, but the thought of someone with other body parts. Like, I remember that was one of the movies that I actually was like scared of and couldn't sleep. All the other ones, I was like, it's fine. I could sleep like a baby. That one, for some reason,
Something about
freaks
that
me
one.
up.
Yeah, something about that one.
Yeah.
What about you, Alicia?
Jaws.
Jaws, yeah. Jaws was shocking.
I just remember like it was summertime.
Yeah.
A lot of people at my uncle's summer house. I'm not entirely sure the parents realized we had snuck back in, and I remember just laying on the carpet being like really quiet watching it. But also, Jaws is one of those horror movies, as far as horror movie goes, that's kind of okay for a kid to watch because you see nothing.
Right.
To me,
And it's at a beach.
I think I'm more scared of it now, especially knowing how crazy the mayor was. Like, to
Yeah.
me, the mayor's the villain.
Yeah.
Like,
Trying to keep
now as
everything
an
open,
adult,
even doesn't care. It's about money.
seeing
Yeah.
all those different elements of the town greed, Quint, all of those different things. And then, of course, when I got a little older, I read it. And I think
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I started reading that kind of stuff when I was in like third, fourth grade. My first book was Stephen King's Pet Sematary, and then I quickly moved on to others. I think reading it was the book is way more shocking than the movie.
In the movie.
Yeah, like you literally like the giant fish swims through the depths to like stalking its prey, like the vivid imagery that.
Well, yeah, when you can use your imagination for anything.
Yeah, it's your imagination versus
it's just
actually having.
Jaws still holds up so well too, because it was on the big screens a couple years ago on the big screen. I went to see it and I was like, wow, this is the first time I see it on a big screen.
So last summer they didn't do it, but I'm hoping they bring it back this summer. There's like a river by us, and on the other side of it they put up a huge screen. Yeah. You rent a tube and you can watch Jaws in the river while you're sitting.
That's scary though.
And I really want to do that.
I would love that.
There shouldn't be any sharks in a river, but still scary.
Right.
Yeah, no, I just think that element will be very
Sounds like a sci-fi movie though, River Shark.
River Shark.
That was like the Shark Night movie, in which you think the sharks have got. None of you saw this? Shark Night?
Shark Night? No.
They're in a saltwater lake. The premise is these kids are away, college trip. They go to one of the girls' lake houses.
Mm-hmm.
You think the sharks have gotten in because of the recent storm. You find out later that's not why. But so, long story short, there's like big, like Gulf-sized sharks.
Right.
In this lake.
Yeah, not somewhere they would normally be. That's scary.
Somewhere they would normally be. And that's done really well too. Because these kids are outside of civilization. Like, you see how long the boat ride was for them to get to the house.
I'm gonna have to look that one up because I have seen
was-
the promo for it. Was that in 3D?
That was in 3D.
Okay, I might
Yeah.
have to rent it on the Oculus because you can.
Yeah,
watch it in
there
3D.
you go.
But yeah, for that to be your first horror movie is Jaws. That's an incredible movie. But
What
you know,
thing?
there's a lot of people like you, Jen, where they don't remember their.
Uh-oh.
Did I mute myself or did I?
You may
do
have.
I have
I
to
don't-
mute it?
I don't know, but go. Okay, what?
Oh,
What was I saying?
There's a lot of
5
people.
grandkids.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people like you that don't remember their specific first movie, and they all kind of blur together because they started watching so young.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Michelle in the group is another one who was like that. And there's many people like you who they just kind of grew up with horror movies. Like
Yeah.
myself, my parents didn't watch those. None of my friends really watched them.
And to be fair, I say that it's Jaws, but I'm not sure that that's not me just happily rewriting history because it's my favorite.
It could be. That
Yeah.
could be too, and that's fine.
Yeah, I don't like I've always watched horror movies.
Yeah, but you're gonna remember those two, T2 and Body Part. So
Yes.
they'll
Yeah.
stand out as being
That one
really
actually scared
scaring
me.
you.
Terminator
Yeah.
2, I was like, that's cool. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
God, I loved Edward Furlong when I
Oh
was
my
young.
God.
Such a crush.
I had such a crush.
Yeah, he's changed quite a bit now, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drugs and time.
About that guy.
Drugs and age, yeah.
But
But that's interesting. So
is there anything you want to tell people about? Any plugs? Anything you want
myself, I
Anything
would
you're
just say
currently enjoying in pop culture?
come to Shutter Horror Fans, join the group if you haven't joined. It's a Facebook group. Pop culture, what am I enjoying right now? No, not really. Just I'm researching more movies, anthology type movies.
to?
So I figured something what we're trying to produce is going to be an anthology type thing. So I'm looking into those. So if anybody knows,
If you have a character that eats so much candy that she explodes, I'd love to audition.
You'll do
I really
that?
feel like that.
So we got the candy eating
I'm so
explosion
hungry.
head, and then we have Jen tossing down the stairs and then
Yeah.
getting
Or
into
whatever.
a kung fu fight.
However you want me to die. I can die with a pineapple in the throat. It's fine.
Pineapple to the throat.
Or it's shoved down my throat.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh,
thing-
the little smoky things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
That's a visual.
cool
Yeah.
effects.
The
That's some
quirkier
cool
the death, the
effects.
better.
But
Jen
yeah,
was
that's
just mad she wasn't
and I-
in Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Got herself a real quirky death.
Damn it.
But I was glad you guys had me on. I've been wanting to come on the show for a while. So
Yes.
and I think at least we all felt the same way about Idle Hands.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Now
we'll do another
next
one
time
next
we're gonna
time.
have Brent on for. Well, what is your favorite horror movie of all time, Brent?
It's impossible to answer that because
hard.
my mind is so elastic that I can't answer that. I mean, I still love Friday the 13th. Part 1, 2, 3. I love House of a Thousand Corpses. I think that's a great, well done, modern type movie. I can't answer. I think maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, is probably
We haven't done that yet.
We could
it's
do
the
that
magnum opus of movies because it still holds up so well.
We could
You
do
can
that
tell-
remake and original.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me watch that Jessica Biel monstrosity.
That's actually pretty
Second
good.
time
I
in my
thought.
life.
See?
I thought that was pretty good. The remake.
Okay, see, good. So we'll
Good.
have you on. We
Some
can have a
some-
nice
Let's do both.
discourse.
Closing opinions, some discussion.
Sounds good. And the original is a great movie.
The original still gets me on many levels.
And it
Like,
holds up
that's-
so well. It's like Jaws. It holds up
Holds
so
up.
well even to this day. The pacing is still faster than most movies at that time. So it holds up today.
Yeah.
Now you'll
Right.
watch a movie where there's editing that's just so fast. You can't see anything. You never have a chance to let anything process. And then they're just cutting it and editing it so fast. It's like,
Yeah.
I think that is one of the things I did enjoy about the original Amityville when we watched it 2 weeks ago, Jen.
Yeah.
It, like you had said, it was
Saw
a
that.
slow burn, but I feel like it was very well done and even the remake was very.
The remake, I like
They were filmed very nicely, where you feel
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I listened to about
You're getting a
half of that.
story.
I listened to your episode, about half of that episode. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah, I thought that the original was really good, but it is a slow burn. And the one with Ryan Reynolds is really good, but it's a completely different movie in the pacing and things.
Well, that episode is a live watch. You watch along with us for the Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
that's how we did that one. We were trying something new. I don't know that we
I
love
like
that,
cool.
but we tried it.
Yeah, a live watch is cool. You know, I hear a lot of people do podcasts like that. I think it's pretty cool. But, you know, if you're watching a movie for the first time, you know, it's
I
sort
don't
of like,
suggest it.
Oh yeah, no, don't watch it for the first time.
it's the same thing with the live group watches that we do in Shutter Horror Fans. If you've never seen a movie before, it's best not to do a group watch.
I get so distracted. Like so many movies I need to go back and watch because I'm like I was paying more attention to us and what we're talking about and having so much fun in the chat.
Yeah.
And
especially like we did the Black Coat's Daughter, Jen. I don't think you made it.
No, I missed that one.
I loved it, but that was one of the ones we really should have been paying because I noticed in the chat I had to go back and be like, no, you're confused here because clearly we were talking and you missed this.
Yeah. You'll see that, like, when we do a live group chat, even though maybe I'm the one who started it, if it's a new movie that I haven't seen, you won't see me active very much.
You are.
I'm not really watching because I want to. If it's a movie I haven't seen, I want to pay attention to it because all the small details are what makes the movie.
So, well, Jen knows that I do this, and I don't know why I didn't do this for Idle Hands. Well, I didn't do it because Jen hates when I do this, but I'm done not doing it.
But I didn't care. Of course, you do it for the one that I don't care about.
Why didn't you weren't going to care? I couldn't have foreseen you weren't going to care.
We said we'd never seen it.
Right, but so I was trying to all not have any knowledge together is my point. But I would say 99% of the time I wiki the entire movie
before you watch it.
Like this, you could have like Final Destination like would have been cool to not do this.
I don't. Now I don't even watch a full trailer. What I do is I watch.
I don't want to know anything about it.
I watch about 5 seconds because I can tell a lot by the production, and that gives me enough information to know if I want to watch it.
Or if it's a movie I know that I'm going to watch anyway. If it's a Marvel movie, I'm like I don't need to see the trailer because I'm going to watch it. So I don't care what it's care. I love.
An A24 movie, you kind of know what they're about. So
I went into Unhinged. I knew it was a movie of the week. I didn't get around to it. I didn't look up anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I was on the plane when I went to Denver this week on Wednesday.
Where it's the road rage guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and I had no idea. I had zero clue as to what this movie was about, and going into it like that.
Yeah, made it better.
Amazing.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I know nothing about that one, but funnily enough, my cousin, when we had first started the podcast, I guess a few weeks later, the first trailer for that dropped, and Jen, he sends me the trailer going, "Is Horror and Heels going to discuss this?"
That's funny.
Yeah, so
that's a movie that really scared a lot of people because that really happened.
I'm so glad that I had a whole row to myself because I was covering my mouth. I was like, I'm pretty sure I screamed a couple times and scared the girl in front of me. Like, it's got a lot of holy shit moments. Really... I even was covering my eyes at one point. I was like, nope, because it's so insane.
Now I need to watch it.
That was actually shot in New Orleans too, so it's cool to me because there's a scene, the very first scene where he runs over somebody at a gas station, and that was literally 100 yards from my apartment in New Orleans. So it's really cool for me to see. But that movie's shocking to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know how to process it because that's something that could really happen. And it does happen on a day-to-day basis across the world.
And before even seeing that movie, my thing was always don't fuck with people, especially in traffic, because you don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're going through. You have no idea what state of mind that they're in. Like, I just keep to myself. Even if I'm upset, I yell in my own car. I don't honk at people. I do not, because I have no idea what's going on with them in their world. So I am always like,
I'd rather go home and rage eat a pint of ice cream and know that I got home safe than not
talk to or talk to a friend.
A banana ice cream from Bluebell, maybe.
I don't need
God willing.
But I don't need to piss off people in public, and because you have no idea what they're going through. All right, y'all. So you can join our group on Facebook, Shutter Horror Fan Group.
Shutter Horror Fans.
You know where to find Jen and I at this point.
Yep. Torn heels at everything, whatever.
Yeah. It's a great iconic name because nobody else came close to having a name like that.
That was
and now
all
you've got
Jen.
it. Do you still have the heels right near you? Can I see those again?
Yes, Jen has our
I just think that's cool too.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
pretty,
put this on our
sexy.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It is.
Like it. Walk around in those, strutting that ass, strutting that ass.
Walk around those in Texas, Jen.
Yes. Oh,
that
I
won't
should.
be
Yes, I'm definitely taking them. I'm gonna get stickers made, and I'm gonna take them into Texas and just pass them around.
She could be there, Alicia, but
I know.
maybe it's still a few months away. Who knows what might happen?
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen.
Yep. All right, guys. Nice talking to you.
Thanks for coming, Brent.
Thanks, Brent.
Yep, no
It was so
problem.
fun.
We'll do it again
Bye.
soon.